Hello, welcome to SwitchedOn, Paul speaking, and following on from yesterday's best football games on the Nintendo Switch, and that's football being played with your feet. Today we're going to be looking at the best football games played with your hands, so American football games to us Brits, on the Nintendo Switch. And so the NFL season is finally back, and again, a bit like the UK football season, it's all a bit odd with no fans allowed and all that kind of oddness that we've got at the moment. The season kicked off on Friday, and most of the other games get underway today. So it's really interesting to see how Brady and Gronkowski do at the Bucks, and how Cam Newton, how he can fill the shoes of Brady at New England. Lots of really cool stuff to look forward to this season. But what I thought I'd do is have a look at some of the American football games on the Nintendo Switch today. We're going to start with a classic, and really, if you're an American football game aficionado, the name Tecmo Bowl will bring back warm memories, I'm sure. A bit like Sensible Soccer does to us Brits here in our football games. So this is the arcade version. This is available on the ACA range, the hamster range. And I'm going to be showing two Tecmo Bowl games, so don't fear. If I can get this one started, keep pressing the wrong button. This is the original Tecmo Bowl, the arcade release. This came out in '87. And only includes two teams, and I'm going to be brutally honest, isn't great. But all is not lost for the Tecmo Bowl name. I know I believe the best version of the game was Tecmo Super Bowl, which came out, maybe was it on the NES? Not sure. If you played that back in the day, then please let me know and correct me. What version is the best? We've got to have a look at the NES version in a second, and I enjoyed that much more than this one. This is really basic. As I say, you only get two teams. There's no real playbook to speak of, and it's all a bit rubbish, really. But there you go. This is, as I say, part of the ACA range. These all normally set you back £6.29 in the UK. Got a man wide open. And I think they're $6.99 or $7.99. But unless you've got really rose-tinted memories of this one, I probably would avoid this one. And if you've got Nintendo Online, I would pick up the version we're going to look at now. And you can find this version of Tecmo Bowl by going into the Nintendo Online NES section, if you've got that. And you'll find it buried here. It's one of the first games released. It may have even been in the first wave. But here we have a look, Tecmo Bowl. This was the home conversion on the NES, 1990. This one was released. And this one featured more teams. So you've got like a few of the teams. I think it's 12 teams here from the NFL. Let's pick, I don't know, Seattle. And featured two-player local multiplayer, as you'd expect on the NES. And it actually features a limited playbook. Obviously the graphics aren't quite as good as the arcade version, but feels much faster to play and much smoother. You can see here, action's certainly much faster than that arcade version. So here's the limited playbook. You activate it by pushing the D-pad in one of four directions and pressing the A button. So start off with a little run here, little sweep, I believe they call this. So we've got no player names or anything. I believe, again, Tecmo Super Bowl introduced player names. I've not really seen a lot of that game. Let's do a passing play. But I think really for an NES game, intercepted. This is actually pretty good. Obviously the graphics are a little bit basic, but they're colourful enough, and you certainly get the gist of the game. And having a playbook certainly helps. You've got passing and running plays. We take over defense. I don't know who we're playing. I'm playing San Francisco. We're playing the 49ers. So yeah, simple controls. Sorry, sort of deviating away from the subject a bit there. Two button controls really. One to pass, one to select players, and San Francisco go in for a touchdown. As it is NES game, you can sort of pause and resume at any time as well with the suspend menu. And it's just, yeah, a really nice little game. And as I say, there isn't a great deal of choice on the Switch. So I think if you're... this isn't my pick, by the way. I'm going to be showing you my pick a little bit later in the video. But this is certainly one of the better football games available on the Switch at the moment. And this is Tecmo Bowl, and it's in the NES collection. Another one from the ACA Neo Geo range now. This was a game originally by SNK, and this is Football Frenzy. A game I quite enjoyed. I picked this up, I think it came out a couple of years ago maybe. Often tend to gravitate towards sports games, and I don't mind American football games. Always press the plus button on these Neo Geo games and it goes into that dip switch menu. But this one seems like, I don't think it's an unofficial sequel to Tecmo Bowl, but it's kind of got that feel to it. Again, fantasy teams here, so we'll just pick one of those, go with the Vipers. Much better graphics, much more detail. Which reminds me of the Super Sidekicks series we covered yesterday in the football games. That kind of look. Much bigger field. Still kind of got that sluggishness that the arcade version of Tecmo Bowl has. Oh, nice bit of brutality there. Nice sort of cutscenes again, like Super Sidekicks. It will zoom in. Always like the start of a running play. What should we do? Let's go from the I formation. This has got lovely sprite work. Really like these sort of old arcade games. Some of the sprites they used to have are just absolutely stunning. I can imagine playing these. I didn't actually play these back in the day, but having the chance to play them back in the day. Oh, sacked. Must have been pretty amazing. This one's a little bit more complex to control. You've got 3 buttons, A, B and C. Oh, I keep running into the defence. Have to kick this one away. Hit the power gauge. Let's have a quick go on defense, see how that works. But yeah, I like these little cutscenes. They had a lot more character to it. As you saw at the start, it's a kind of a tournament system. I think there's 8 teams and you play through till you get to the final. I think, from what I remember, it's kind of a credit-based system, like you'd expect from an arcade game. So I think you might have to pay 1/4 per credit. Be a quarter for a quarter, wouldn't it? So striking near as the Bullets have a touchdown, going for a touchdown, and you see a nice sort of celebration and cutscenes there. So I quite like this one. It takes a little while with these ACA games to get used to the controls, because obviously they're not mapped to the named buttons on the controller. But once you get your head around what's A, B, C and D, these normally go a lot smoother. But just thought I'd show this one off. As I say, I've had this one a little while. Do like this one. This is Football Frenzy. This is available on the ACA Neo Geo range. And again, like all those games, they're £6.29 and it's $7.99. So that's available on the eShop right now. Now, next one we're going to have a look at isn't really a pure football game at all, but this is how desperate things are on the Switch. This is Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition. And this is kind of I think it's an unofficial follow-up to Mutant League Football, which came out on the Mega Drive back in the day. This one's actually okay. It's only sort of £16, so it's a bit of a budget game. Just going to have a quick look at some of the gameplay. This one often goes on sale as well. If you like this sort of fantasy, violent football sort of style of game, I believe that Blood Bowl, the old sort of fantasy tabletop game, has got announced for the Switch, and that's going to be coming soon. So very similar. This obviously draws a lot of comparisons to Blood Bowl, and I think pretty sure Blood Bowl came first. It's been around since the early 80s, if not earlier. But this one's quite cool. Nice sense of humour in this one. So we've got the Philadelphia Evils against the Nuked London Patriots or something. You get lots of these nice little cutscenes. You've got commentators that are use colourful language, so be wary if you're going to be getting this for your kids. But yeah, I quite like this one. It's really lots of cool gameplay, lots of violence. As I say, it isn't a pure football game. You know, you wouldn't necessarily have buzzsaws going across the centre of a pitch in real life, even in that new fancy LA stadium. Oh, we're going to return this for a touchdown. Okay, we ran into a landmine, but we've still got a touchdown, and nobody can take that away from us. So Rodney McLeod injured there as he runs into the landmine. And Joe Thunder's dead, which is unfortunate, but the game goes on. Yeah, let me know what you think of this one. As I say, it isn't a pure football game. It's not a Madden. It's not going to be one for the simulation purists. As we go special teams and try and take a field goal. Oh, I missed the power on that as well. We'll just play a quick bit of defence. But yeah, not a bad start there for our nuked London Patriots. It is actually, as we return the kickoff for a touchdown. See if we can get some distance on this one. Oof, and down the field we go. There's, I was going to say, a lot of violence. You've got special moves that you can use and weapons. There's plenty of roughing the kicker. You can, as you saw in the first play there, you can injure and kill people with enough violence. Just, run a run protection play. Running it. Oh, we've got a load of players got sliced in half by the buzzsaw there. If you saw that, we're probably going to get an injury report. Yeah, Mason Belch, the centre, dead, and Rami Wilson dead on the Patriots side. So yeah, that's the sort of thing you're dealing with here. You've got to try and get to the end of the game with a roster intact if you can, rather than just trying to get the win. We'll go back to the options, just have a look. You kind of get the idea of the gameplay, but I just want to take back to the options because there is a lot of stuff here. You've got online play, you've got a dynasty mode, which is cool. If you're into your dynasty modes in your football games, you can take on a team and sign them players and obviously nurse them through injuries and deaths and stuff. Scouting, you can have a look at the teams. You've got an achievement system built into the game there, so plenty of things here. You can play a season playoffs or just play one of the Mayhem Bowl games. So plenty of options here. So it's only £16, so it's not going to break the bank. I guess that's going to convert into like about $20. Might be something fun if you've got some friends around tonight waiting for the games to kick off and you want to have a bit of a laugh and a couple of drinks, then maybe Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition is one that you can pick up. Now, just before I get too much in depth into the next pick, I just want to say stick around because I'm going to be talking about a possible potential new football game coming to the Switch. It's not a definite, but I'll give you the details of that after I've spoke about my top pick on the Switch, which is Football Heroes Turbo. A bit of a weird one, this one, if you want to pick it up on the eShop. Now, this was converted from a mobile game. I think it was a free-to-play mobile game that had a lot of microtransactions in it. So it may still be available on mobile. But if you want to get it on Switch, you're going to have an American or Canadian eShop account. I've got an American account and picked this up a couple of years ago, but it was never released in Europe. I'm pretty positive it's never got the release over here. So if you want to play this one, you're going to have to go onto the American eShop. There is a video on my account how to set up foreign eShop accounts if you want to play this one in the UK. But as I say, this is my pick of the best football game on the Switch. It's one I come back to quite a lot to have a little go on. Again, all fantasy teams, and it's got this really nice kind of RPG system with like XP. Your players get XP for pretty much everything they do in the game, and then it allows you to upgrade them, get new skills. You can trade players and sort of release them, and there's free agents. But I just really like this game. It is really violent. It has got special moves in it, so it isn't like the pure sim, but it's not quite as bad as the Mutant Football League. I'll show you what it's all about. You've got a couple of special moves. So I'll just use my special move there with the R button, which is like a massive uppercut. Start with a passing play this time. So you've got the 4 buttons there. Really easy to play. We've got a man wide open. Did we get that in? We did get it in for a first down. So you see we get some money there. The player Schwartz, who caught the ball there, gets some XP boost. But as you saw, it's not your bog standard football game. There's lots of players diving in with punches there. You can punch back. You sort of have stand-up fist fights on the ground. gameplay here. Ravage, he's got pace to burn. He's got a hurdle special move. Now, when you use your special moves, you can get potentially have 2 special moves. But when you do use them, they do go on like a cooldown for a number of plays. That's incomplete. I'm going to have to punt this one away. Oh, it's probably close enough for a field goal, actually. We should have tried for a field goal. So pressing B allows you to punch, and so you can just punch people to... I think you can injure them out of the game. You can do a normal tackle as well. There is a normal tackle in the game. But you can just punch as well, and they're going to punt it away early doors. Surprising play. So you can see there at the bottom, my special move on the R button. I've got a cooldown of 3 on that. Oh, good blocking by my defense there of just punching the defender straight in the face. So yeah, this, as I say, I've covered this before on the channel. I'll try and remember to leave a link in the description so I can give you more details on it, as we have a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. You get $60. So you can spend your money after the games on... I think you can get equipment. I'm going to go back to the menu and just see... Actually, we can't go back to the menu, can we? Because we're in the middle of a game. There is online play as well. You can take it online, play against people, but it was never a very popular game when I was looking. There's fights going on all over the pitch there. The running back Carlin now tried a spin move. You've got a spin move on the A button. I think Y is a diving tackle and B is to punch. X might be to hurdle. Incomplete pass. But yeah, it's a pretty simple presentation. I think the graphics are nice enough. They're not the best in the world. And as I say, there's not a massive amount to it beyond this. Well, it's unfair actually. There's not a massive amount of modes, but the main mode that there is here, this sort of franchise mode, there is a lot you can do in it, and it is multiple seasons, and sort of, you know, it really is a franchise. You can build up your team, invest in new player cards, upgrade your players. Wasn't a particularly smart move. Some of the special moves as well were quite weird. I had a player, I think I might have traded him away now, but I had a player who had like a grappling hook. So when you're chasing down someone, you can... there's a pass on. You can sort of grappling hook and pull them back if they're getting away from you. Oh, have I got the pace to make it? Going to be in for another touchdown. And Schwartz takes it over again. 15-0. The games are fairly quick to play. I think this it might only be halves and not quarters, if I remember rightly. So we get another extra point. So you can whiz through a season fairly quickly. Here you go, half time, so it is just 2 halves. That's Football Heroes Turbo. So you've got season mode that we're playing now, online match and local multiplayer, and there's not much in the way of options, but really good game. I think it's pretty cheap. It's actually on a massive discount at the moment. It's usually $14.99. It's down to $4.49 at the moment, so probably in line with the football season kicking off. Definitely one to pick up, especially at that price. It's an absolute no-brainer. Here's the sort of the team idea. So you've got these cards. This is all my players. If they've got an arrow on, like these little orange arrows here, means they can be upgraded. Cost training points there. See, we've got training points at the top. You earn that by winning games. You can train that player to improve them. His special moves a headbutt, so he's pretty decent. You can edit the player here, so you can edit their name, number, and edit their look. So, yeah, definitely worth picking up. Plenty of stuff you can tinker around with there, and a really enjoyable game. So Football Heroes Turbo on the Nintendo Switch. Now, as promised, the last game I wanted to talk about may not be coming to the Switch, but there's certainly the developer certainly wants to head in that direction if he gets enough popularity on Steam, and that's a game called Legend Bowl. It's created by one developer, sole developer, using Game Maker Studio 2. So that's what first really got me interested, as I work in that language as well. But he has built a football game from the ground up, sort of based on the old retro games, so Tecmo Bowl, and trying to keep it simulation but with sort of nice retro pixelated graphics. It's a really cool game. It's out at the moment in like a beta test. It is on Steam, so you can wishlist it. Should be releasing fairly soon, but I know he's worked so hard. I think he's been working on this for 4 or 5 years, maybe longer. He does regular blogs on YouTube of development, so have a look at him on YouTube. I'll try and remember again to leave a link in the description below. But as you can see here from the footage, it looks just like a really, really cool game. He's put a lot of time and effort into it. Really wants it to be simulation based, but still have that fun factor to it. So really cool game. It's called Legend Bowl. Please check it out on Steam, wishlist it. The more sort of wish lists and popularity it gets when it releases, the more chance it is of coming to the Switch. And I think it would just be an absolutely perfect game for the Switch. So fingers crossed that does happen. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. So with that, I will close this video off. Please enjoy the start of the football season tonight proper, wherever and however you're watching it. Hope your team prevails. I'll be watching it myself. I'll be probably taking in the Bucks game just to see how Brady does. Really interesting sort of turn of affairs there. So it's going to be really interesting following that this season. And I'm going to be really looking forward to it. But until then, thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment below with your favourite football game with the ones that I showcased today. I'm sure I didn't miss any, but if I did, please let me know. Please subscribe if you're new, and I will call that a day. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.